Greetings, family. Peace and love to you and yours. This is Guru, and thanks for visiting my channel. So, family, from the title you can tell, this video is about a black FDNY rookie who sues after sexual hazing by nude firefighters. This story is so crazy, but let's get to it. Well, family, Firefighter Gordon Springs, 27, pictured here, has faced racist hazing attacks at Ladder Company 35, Engine Company 40 since joining the FDNY in 2015, according to his lawsuit. They were naked. He was afraid. A black FDNY rookie expecting a warm welcome at his new firehouse was instead sexually hazed and humiliated by a band of naked firefighters, according to a shocking federal discrimination lawsuit. It was the beginning of a series of horrific incidents meant to make the rookie's life so miserable he would quit, the suit alleges. The disturbing case is now being probed by the U.S. Department of Justice, a source close to the matter has said. On May 4, 2015, the day before his graduation from the Fire Academy, probationary firefighter Gordon Springs, 27, and three fellow probies went to their new firehouse, Ladder Company 35, Engine Company 40, near Lincoln Center, known as the Cavemen. Take note of that name, the Cavemen. That should have been a warning right there. Long-standing FDNY custom dictates that probies bearing desserts visit their new units for a welcome tour. Springs brought a cake. Well, because he was supposed to be bringing some kind of desserts. Quote, "This is about visiting the firehouse, meeting the firefighters, and meeting the new family," unquote, the source said. As the probies entered the Amsterdam Avenue firehouse, firefighter Peter Grillo whispered to Springs, quote, "Our house is really gay," unquote, according to the lawsuit. Springs claims the probies were led to the gym where four naked smoke eaters, two identified in the complaint as Charles Swift and Pedro Aristi, were waiting. Aristi ordered Springs, this guy, pictured, to lie down on a workout bench, the suit says. The rookie, shaken, tried to leave, but the door was, quote, "forcibly held shut by firefighters. Frozen stiff with fear, Springs did as he was told. Aristi stood over the prone probie and quote, moved his penis and testicles close to his face, then plopped them onto his forehead, according to court papers. Can you believe this crap? Okay. The legal papers do not say if the other probies, two white, one black, were sexually assaulted. In the months that followed, Springs would be, quote, singled out time and time again because he was African American, the suit claims. Aristi allegedly told Springs, "I don't like you. Blacks getting on the job this way. You don't have good work ethic." The comments were a reference to the priority hiring of minorities following a federal court order that the FDNY diversify its ranks. The FDNY remains under a federal monitor. The diatribe continued, Spring alleges, with Aristi screaming, "I could punch you in the face and there's nothing you could do about it. If you called the FDNY's Equal Employment Opportunities Office, everyone in the firehouse would keep their mouth shut and EEO wouldn't find anything. Then, after everyone realized you called EEO, the real fun would begin." So Springs was too, quote, scared to call the police, his lawyer said. And so the abuse continued. On June 3rd, 2015, Aristi clocked Springs over the head with a loaf of bread, calling him a scumbag for missing a Medal Day ceremony, the suit alleges. He was forced to sweep the firehouse for his entire shift. On June 29, 2015, Springs was ordered to climb up the brass fire pole as firefighters identified as Ricks and Sanchez threw buckets of water and breadcrumbs on him, the complaint says. He fell and injured his back. In February 2016, Springs returned to the firehouse to gather his belongings ahead of the 5-day retraining assignment. He found his gear was stomped on and the chest area of his uniform stabbed, the suit says. When he reported the incident to bosses, he was punished with 22 added days of retraining, the suit says. And so the suit alleges the desecrated uniform was in retaliation for Springs filing complaints with the FDNY's EEO office and the Federal Equal Employment Opportunity Commission in October 2015. Springs was transferred twice by the FDNY, but branded a rat. A, quote, scarlet letter follows him around like a shadow to each new firehouse, the lawsuit says. In October, the Post learned that 5 firefighters and 2 officers had been disciplined for violating the FDNY's, quote, zero tolerance hazing policy at Ladder 35 Engine 40. The 7 lost pay and vacation days, and by accepting the punishment, avoided administrative trials and public attention. The FDNY at the time refused to name the firefighters, specify what they did, or comment on any racial motivations. Firefighters at Springs' current unidentified firehouse posted a clipping of that Post story on the bulletin board. So, as you can see, it's obvious that the fire department, they have what's called retaliation against those who speak up and tell about issues going on in their environment. It's similar to the so-called blue wall that the police carry. You know, once you tell on them, especially on their bad behavior, for whatever reason, they feel like you're the bad guy for telling on them when they're the ones that's in the wrong. And this happens often, too often, as a matter of fact, in many different areas of work. And it's just wrong. It's shameful, actually. It's disgusting. To where a person who is doing the right thing and stands for righteousness, you got these idiots working on jobs who feel like they can just do whatever they want to do, and then when you turn them in, they cry foul. That's disgusting. It's so freaking pathetic. But this is what people, so-called grown-up human beings, do. And so, I digress. I'm going to go back to the story. In November, the federal EEOC determined there was, quote, reasonable cause to believe Springs was the victim of sexual harassment and racial discrimination. Actually, this guy should have video recorded these incidents. Whether they knew about it or not, he should have recorded it and turned their butts in. I don't have any problem with recording someone doing foul, even if you know or don't know. It might be against the law, but guess what? I don't have no problems doing that. If you're doing wrong, I'm going to record you and turn you in, even if the company doesn't like it. Because the companies need to know the truth, whether they want to hear it or not. And if I was this brother right here, I would have recorded their degenerate, uncivilized behavior, and then I would have went forward with my lawsuit. But anyways, it goes on to say, one FDNY officer brushed it off as harmless horseplay. Can you believe that? Harmless horseplay. So this one individual takes his penis out and his testicles, puts it on this guy's forehead, and then these other degenerates come along and say, oh, it's harmless horseplay. Well, I say to those who say that, let somebody do that to you then. Let somebody do that to you so we could see how harmless of horseplay that is. These idiots, I swear. Quote, there's a culture in the firehouse when you're a new guy, somebody's feelings get hurt and all of a sudden it's hazing, the officer said. quote, it's bullshit. No, it's not. It's actually not. And what are grown men in a fire department, what are you doing hazing? You're acting like you're in some grade school or something. Good grief, all of these guys should be disciplined. Big time. How are you going to be working for a professional group as firefighters and then you're hazing? Good grief, this is such stupidity. However, but Springs' lawyer, Paul Laguerre, disagreed. He says, quote, the department can style this case as a hazing incident, but what happened to my client was a sexual assault, he said. Well, attorney Paul Laguerre, I would add that it wasn't just a sexual assault. This was a racially motivated hate incident. It's a hate incident. When the man clearly said that he does not like black people and whatnot in his little rant there, this is clearly not just a sexual assault. This was a sexual assault racially motivated. And that's the added part that I would have added to this. Well, family, the lawsuit seeks unspecified damages. It names Lieutenant Edward Vreeland, Grillo, Swift, Aristi, the city and FDNY Commissioner Daniel Negro as defendants. The defendants did not comment or would not return messages seeking comment. The FDNY referred inquiries to the city law department, which said it was reviewing the complaints. Family, that's the extent of this video. I just want to conclude with saying that once again, we're seeing in positions of authority, and right now we're talking about the fire department, the New York Fire Department, where they are hazing new firemen coming on to their station, greeting them like kids, using sex and other humiliating gestures to welcome them. I'd say that those firefighters who are doing that should be suspended without pay. Someone should have to pay for this. The man went through humiliation and torture because they claimed they didn't want him there because he was black. And the fact is that the EEOC has demanded that they diversify their station, and that is what caused the problem. So if anything, you would think that these grown kids would be mad at the EEOC, or the federal mandate, but no, they take it out on the actual individuals who start at their station. This is so disgusting. And people hold the fire department and these firemen up to high esteem. Not when you act like this, not when you portray yourselves like this, not when you get exposed like this do we have respect for any of you. So, with that said, I'm going to end this video. I find it disgusting. It's very disgusting. It's low and uncivilized. Anyways, thanks for watching, family. Peace and love to you and yours. I hope Mr. Springs gets his justice served in a court of law. But we know how white supremacy works in this country, and especially when it comes to those white supremacists who hide behind black gowns and they call themselves judges in a so-called court of law that's really kangaroo courts. Thanks for watching. Peace and love to you and yours, and until the next video, take the time to love yourself. Thanks for watching.